think it's the reason why you wanted to get into it in the first place. Like we knew we wanted more time with our family. And the more I researched, I knew nothing about real estate. Like I was telling you earlier, I didn't even know what drywall was when we first got started. I had no idea the opportunities that real estate presented. I just never really knew anyone that did it, had no clue. And the more I learned and the more I educated myself, I was like, wow, this really could be something that could help us get to that goal.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Real Estate Pros Podcast. I'm your host, Micah Johnson, and today I am speaking with someone who has been making some really good moves in real single-family residential space out in Pennsylvania. Brittney, welcome, man. I'm glad to have you.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
I am too. I think our listeners are really going to take something away from how you're approaching real estate in general. In our pre-call, before we got on here recorded, I just love the story that you have to share. So I'm excited to dig into it. So for people who may not know you yet, what is your main focus right now and what markets are you operating in?
So I live just outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We focus very heavily in our local market. We're pretty specific on that. But I started out as a registered nurse and a mom and wife, and was basically trying to find a way out of the daily work grind, and led me into real estate. So
Okay. That's a pretty generic way of saying it. What does led me into real estate mean? So nurse to real estate. Take us through it. How'd you get there?
all right. So here's the funny part. Okay. So I had my son. I was working full time as an ER nurse. So it was always hectic. I never got out of work on time. My husband was a carpenter. He worked a lot. He just worked our butts off, and that's how we were raised. And, once you have kids, it changes your perspective a little bit. And we were both just like, this isn't how we want to live life. We want to enjoy our life. We want to spend time with our kids and not constantly be worrying about work and all the things. So we started kind of looking for ways that we could cut spending and things like that, but nothing really panned out. And I was pregnant with my daughter, my second child, and we were on our way to have her. I had a scheduled C-section, and we were dropping my son off at my sister-in-law's house. And as we were driving there, we happened to notice that the house next door, which is where my husband grew up, was for sale. And my sister-in-law knew the tenant. She knew the owners. She really didn't want to move. And my husband was like, well, we should buy that house. She really wants, she wants to stay there. It'll be a great investment. This could be the thing. And I said, okay, well, let's go have the baby. And then, we'll talk about it after.
Priorities.
Yeah, priorities. So that's how we got started. That's what started the conversation, I should say.
Okay. So what happened next? Were y'all able to get that house, or how'd that conversation keep going after you had your daughter?
Yes. So about a week later, we're home with the baby. All is good. Family's over. And like I said, he had known the owners of the house. It was actually his mom's boss who lived out of state. And turns out at that point that the house was already under contract, so we weren't able to buy it. But it just kind of got our, gears rolling a little bit.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
And then I think it was maybe like a week or two later, we went to a graduation party. And there was a guy there that we had grown up with who was a self-made entrepreneur, the only person, that we had really known growing up that was kind of doing his own thing. And my husband, Sean, was like, I really want to get into real estate. What should I do? And he basically responded to him, why haven't you done it yet? What are you waiting for? And he told him to go read the Rich Dad Poor Dad book, which I think is, it's like the Bible of real estate. And my husband, who never reads ever, listened to this book like in one day. And I was so impressed when he read it and he told me all about it that I was like, okay, maybe I should really start taking this a little serious. He really wants to get into it. And so I read the book and, we just kind of started diving into all things learning, watching YouTube, whatever I could get my hands on. And, we started looking for houses.
One of the parts of the story I want to pull out there for folks listening is that house was under contract and you didn't let it deter you. And how many people kind of get stuck right there? Like they feel like the stars are aligning and everything's, oh, this is it. It's all going to happen. And then it doesn't, because that's just not how it works most of the time. But
Mm-hmm.
then they'll stop right there, right? What was it that just said, okay, keep going? We want to keep doing it. Like for y'all, what helps you keep moving past that point? Because it could maybe help somebody that finds themselves there right now.
I think it's the reason why you wanted to get into it in the first place. Like we knew we wanted more time with our family. And the more I researched, I knew nothing about real estate. Like I was telling you earlier, I didn't even know what drywall was when we first got started. I had no idea the opportunities that real estate presented. I just never really knew anyone that did it, had no clue. And the more I learned and the more I educated myself, I was like, wow, this really could be something that could help us get to that goal. So it wasn't like I grew up and was like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to buy a rental property. But I was like, I want to be with my family more. And so that was the way that we knew we could get there. And as long as we stayed focused on that, it kept us going and saying, okay, we want to buy a house, but I figured this out.
I like that because it has to connect back to that. What was that original reason why when you drove by on the way to have your daughter? Tapping back into it. Because there was a book I read, it's by Jen Sincero. It's called You Are a Badass. And it was the first personal development book I'd ever read, a little over 10 years ago now. And one of the things I found so interesting in it that she talked about was whenever you do make the move to like take action, main character moves in your own life, don't be surprised when life does something funny back to see, like, you serious? Is that what you really want to do? It's okay if you do, but there's some things to go through along the way. And a lot of times folks don't take that as the go sign where it is the green light. It's almost, and that's what I've learned throughout my own career is that feeling is actually the one you push through.
Absolutely. Maybe a little bit of delirium too, because I wasn't sleeping much, but yeah.
Right. It has to, early childhood or kid days. Yeah. I remember those. Mine are 10 and 12 now. So it's been a little bit, but,
Mm-hmm.
the sleepless nights and you never make it up. So that's what I figured out. I quit keeping count of how much I lost. I was like, it's fine. It's okay at this
Mm-hmm.
point.
Exactly.
So where are y'all at for 2026? What's your big opportunity this year?
So this year, we've been going pretty steadily we closed on our first house in 2019 and we never really stopped. We just kind of kept going.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
And over the last 2 years, our kids are now 10 and 7, and, they're getting into sports and they're getting into all these things that we really want to be a part of. And now we're looking more to simplify. We've bought a lot of rentals. We kind of went, we just bought everything and anything we can get our hands on for quite a few years. And now we're like, okay, our long-term goal is to be able to live off of this and use the income we make to make memories and buy things and do things that we want to do. But we're tailoring it to our life. I don't want to own $1 million. I want to own a decent amount that allows me the cash flow I need to live my life. And, we're not there yet, but that's what we're kind of trying to stay focused on. So we mainly have rental properties. We do have a short-term rental that we bought because it's in a place that we like to visit and we use it a lot. And we want to buy, 1 or 2 more, and it's some other places we like to go. But we only are really holding on to deals that meet our buy box. Anything else we're selling, we're wholesaling, or whatevering. And we're just really trying to stay focused on simplifying our life and, outsourcing as much as possible so that we can enjoy all the hard work that we've put in for the last 7 years.
So that's definitely the answer of someone that's been through some stuff. Because what you're saying is what the veteran professional investors say, where you don't get to what you just talked about by accident. Though that was learned through lessons. So what have been some of those things y'all have learned along the way that you tried and didn't like, or that's led you to see, okay, this is how I want to do real estate?
hmm So I think that both of our personalities are very, like, I need to fully 100% understand something in order to be able to, like, take it on. Like, if I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna go 100% in. I wanna understand it. I wanna be the best at it. And I just sort of picked one thing at a time. Like, I self-managed all the rental properties in the beginning. So like I said, I started, learning about home inspections and watching YouTube videos on that. And obviously my husband was in construction, so he could guide me, and that was more his thing, but I still wanted to understand it. But my next thing I dove into was, okay, how do I be a landlord? What do I got to do? And I just went all in. I wanted to learn everything I could. And it just, one little thing at a time. It was learning the landlording thing. Okay, I screwed all these things up. Now, next time I'm going to do this better, until I got to a point where I had a really good system in place and I knew what I expected out of a manager. And, within the last 2 years, I've actually switched almost all of my properties over to property management. But for me, I had to know how I wanted my properties run, how I wanted them managed, make sure that the person who I have an incredible property manager now, but make sure that, they're going to treat my properties the same. But you just can't know those things unless you do them yourself. The more disconnected you are, the more things fall through the cracks. And I just didn't want to run our business like that.
Oh, it makes sense. And it's super valuable, whether you're trying to build a big business or whatever it is you want to look like, is knowing the positions, understanding what whoever's going to do it, what they're actually doing, right?
Mhm.
Because it's a scaled up real estate investment company has 50 positions in it. It's not like a small amount of things. Doesn't mean you need 50 people, but there are 50 different things you got to get done if you're going
Mhm.
to do that at scale. And if you don't know what to do or what they are, or even how to relate to the person that's going through it, you're going to have some problems, especially when it comes to property management. I like what you said about someone that would care about it as much as you did, because so often that's not the case. You're just another
Mhm.
file, just another address, just another person in the pile. And when you're approaching it the way you are, this is a way bigger deal than that. This is your focus on this, because right now you're full time in real estate. And is your husband full time with you, or what's he doing now?
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
No, he works full-time currently, but we did take 2 years where he did leave his job and we went full-time real estate. We were fixing and flipping. We were doing everything we could. And again, didn't really have a plan. We just kind of did it, went for it, and learned a lot and realized that we wanted to have some stability. We weren't really fully ready. We weren't able to live the way we wanted to with what we were doing. So we decided one of us are going to go back. We're going to, start simplifying and getting to a point where we feel like our rentals and everything that we're doing, we can not just sustain life, but live it the way that we
Yeah,
want to. And so, but we had to screw up a bunch of stuff along the way to get to that point.
it is truly. And that's something I try to teach my kids. Like, it's part of it. It just has to be part of it. If you're that upset by failing, you wouldn't have learned to walk. So deal with it, right? Like,
Yep.
no, nobody just stands up and goes. You fall who knows
Fall
how many
forward.
times, and then you get back up. So, like, since we were small little things, we are geared to do that, to get back up. And now it's funny, we become adults and we get so butthurt about how hard things can be and about failing in general, where it just is like, how, you freak out. And it's like, well, that didn't do a whole lot. Like, now what are you going to do? You know,
Mhm.
and you're right. You pay for that stuff in blood, sweat, and tears, but you'll never forget. And now once you know, and that's the key to real estate. One thing I've really appreciated that you've talked about so far is you never stopped educating yourself. You didn't just run off and do something. You were looking at, okay, what's this mean? And what's this mean? And what's this mean? Because that's a huge key to being successful in real estate is go be proactive in learning. Don't just wait for the mistake to try to learn it. Like, what can you figure out? Now, you mentioned in the pre-call that you created your own local meetup. How important has networking and building relationships been to your business?
Oh, it's everything. Um, so prior to starting the meetup, I actually during COVID time joined a lot of virtual meetups because obviously we had nothing better to do, right? And and I met a couple that lived in New York who they were doing creative financing. So seller financing, rent mortgages, things like that. And I really wanted to learn how to do those things. And I said, let me come work for you. I'm organized, I'm this. I don't know what you need, but like just let me come work for you. I want to learn what you're doing and I'll do whatever you need. And that turned into a whole other incredible thing that we can talk about. But to get back to your point, I learned through them how much community and networking because, I never even met them in person for like years. We just talked online every single day. But I learned so much through them. And I got to a point where, we really decided we wanted to take things full time. And I said, well, if we're going to, we've made this community in the country, but we don't really have this community locally where we're buying and we're doing deals. So we were like, let's start our own meetup. And we had 7 people show up to the first one and it was really tiny. And, now we average about 20 to 30 people. And the people that I've met have become some of my closest friends. They're the people I call when, we're over budget and under everything and all the things are going wrong because they understand. And we have such a great support system of local, their business owners, their contractors. We've developed such a great team of contractors because of the meetup. There's just so many, so many great things that have happened because of that. And I just, it's really your community and your network is everything. When people say that, it's so true.
I agree more. It is so because real estate is a relationship business, and I'm sure you
Mhm.
could say that about all businesses, but real estate in particular is one because of how many different pieces and parts are involved. You have your contractors, you have your lenders, you have your title companies, you have your inspectors, you have your all these different things that all have to touch this thing for it to all work. And putting yourself in the position to meet these people, and a lot of folks struggle with it, introverted or whatever. This is so far beyond that. This is, if you want to be successful, go be with the people that are doing it. Go bring them together. And even if you're out there and you don't have a local meetup around you, do what Brittney did. Start your own. There are other people there, I promise,
There
that
are.
when you get together, 1 plus 1 does not equal 2 when it comes to humans. Like, even
Mhm,
just 2 people together can do way more than one person can do on their own. And then, like you said, just having that, getting you off your island, that
mhm,
person to call that gets it, right? That there's not
mhm,
many people you can just, blow some steam off to. And once you grow in real estate, but having people there that can understand, yeah, man, I get that. And then also have a solution to your problem. What about
mhm,
this? Have you thought about that? Because that's where it really comes in. We only have our point of view, and it
mhm.
comes from our own life and all that jazz. So it's like getting out there with other people to point something out. Because what always got me was how obvious it was when they said it. You're just like, are you serious? That's, oh my God, always. Why didn't I think of that? Because you never would have thought of that. That's not the way your
Mhm.
brain works. So I love hearing consistent answers on that question where it truly levels up your life. And it's not just work. Like, it makes you more money, great. It makes your business better, great. But it makes your life better.
Yeah, it does. And I feel like people in real estate, I don't know what it is, but just like everybody wants to help see everybody grow. It's like when you're doing good things, you want to bring other people up with you. And a lot of times, when you're starting a business or doing, people don't want to see you do well. And I just find that the more people that come in, like I will help anybody any day. I've sat on the phone for hours with people helping them do deals, and it makes me happy because someone did that for me at some point and I'm paying it forward to them. And I just feel like everybody I meet that's in real estate in some way, shape, or form just has that same mentality. And, you need that because, when you first get started, like everybody's questioning you. Why are you doing this? Oh, why do you want to be a landlord? And you're questioning yourself, but you need people that are going to keep you going. And that's what having that community is such a great thing for me and for us. It's like our favorite night of the month to go to our meetup.
It's true. It, it changes the whole game once you have it. It
Mhm,
gets you. It, it's funny, even in the paid ones. I'm big on the masterminds too. Like, how the heck do you put yourself around people that are doing it?
mhm,
And you hit a good point there. It's funny, real estate folks, I'll agree with this. They're the most abundance mindset people I've ever met at the highest levels. And like the ones who are really good at it, they are happy to tell you what to do. They don't
mhm,
have any issues doing it. It ain't like a secret. It's like people who are good at fishing, they won't tell you the spot, right? They'll never share where it is. But
yep,
people good at real estate, they'll tell you, hey, this is how I did that. And this is how I
mhm,
did this. And it's just like, thank you. Thank you
mhm,
for doing that. And it creates that where when you can't wait to get your chance. I remember one of my first coaches I worked with, I, one of his things about the coaching that he did was you had to pass it on to 3 to 5 other people and never charge for it.
mhm,
And as he taught me, I've still never charged for what he taught me, but getting to that chance to tell the next person, like, this changed my life. Wouldn't I want to tell you about it? And you
mhm,
actually want to hear, like, there's nothing like someone telling you what you want to hear too, like
mhm.
you're actually saying something I want to talk about.
Yep.
Yeah. I get pretty riled up about that. So
And
gets me pumped. Well, to get things wrapped up, before we wrap up, if someone wanted to follow along with you or even possibly have a call with you, whatever it is, what's the best way to find you?
So I'm pretty active on Facebook. That is where we advertise our business. And it's just my name, Brittney Krznaric. We also have a business page, which is where we do a lot of deals. We have a lot of referrals, which is Trigan Home Buyers. And we now very heavily involve our kids. They come and help us work on the properties and, they're involved in all the things. And, we're trying to teach them and raise them, this is how you make money. This is how you do all these things. And, they're all part of our growth. So, you can find me on either my business or my personal page.
That's awesome. And that's so cool you're teaching your kids that. I think that's something our generation is doing really well, in my opinion, as I get older, is our kids are getting to learn things I was never taught. No one
Uh-huh.
even would mention it to me. And now it's like they get to be actively involved. So I love hearing that. So I appreciate your time and your story, your perspective, for just sharing it. Yeah, it's great. I think we need more people out there doing it like you're doing it, finding your way, building a business the way that you want to. I just think that's so powerful. So for those of you tuning in, if you got value from today's episode, please like this episode, subscribe to our podcast. You'll find Brittney's information, their links in the show notes. So check out down there, give her a follow. If you want to reach out to her, feel free. We've got more conversations coming up with operators just like Brittney who are out there building real businesses and changing their lives. Thanks for listening. We'll see you on the next one.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.